Beauty has never just been how someone looks. It's more about how someone is seen and what that scene does. We don't just have beauty, we learn how to suggest it, signal it, sustain it. Beauty is appearance, as expectation. It's filtered through memory, desire, culture, and power. And it's not just what we are, it's what we perform. It's what we perform constantly, often unconsciously, in order to be recognized at all. And I'm not interested in saying that beauty is fake. What I'm asking is, what kind of performance is beauty? Because when we think of performance as acting, we think of deception and masks. There's this distance from the truth, right? But performance can also be an act of devotion. It can be a ritual. It's a way to arrange yourself so the world sees what you want to show it or what it demands you to show. And beauty in that sense isn't this, you know, surface level like eyeliner posture. It's not this, it's the way your body is trained to occupy space correctly. My face is able to, I adjust my gaze to, absorb, not to confront. It's knowing where to like place your hands, right? And when to pause and shrink. And I think that, oh yeah, Judith Butler, she says that gender isn't something that we are. We aren't gender, we do gender. It's something that we do repetitively and performatively. The world has rules, and it's a cycle. We keep on doing this again and again because if we break this, we're punished. And it's often quietly and subtly, and sometimes violently too. Beauty kind of works in the same way. It's not a feeling, it's a framework. Like, you're not rewarded simply for being beautiful, but you're rewarded for successfully convincing that you know how to perform what beauty should look like. And that standard is always shifting. We know it's coded by culture, it's racially designed, it's bounded by age, it's class, it's gendered, right? It's algorithmic. And I sometimes I think, what would beauty be like to me if I never saw a mirror? Or I've never seen like someone look me up and down before like deciding how they treat me. Or if I've just never learned how to be pleasing, just to be left alone. And I think for a lot of people, beauty doesn't just start as pleasure. It's a protection in a way because you're not performing just for fun. You're performing because you know the cost of being seen in a negative way, or worse, not being seen at all. My phone is ringing, but anyways, I'm gonna continue. This line between, performance and self becomes hard to find because you start wondering if the way you hold yourself, the softness, the poise, the control, is you. Is it me or is it the version of me that I've built because I'm afraid what would happen without it? Because this just isn't insecurity, it's structure. People don't just respond to beauty, they build their expectations around it. They don't just assume innocence, they project depth, they grant access. You forgive mistakes, you fall in love with the silhouette, not the soul. And when the performance slips, when you're imperfect in age and tired, right, the room changes. Like, I've seen girls who are like classically beautiful, they've had access and power, right? But it came with a contract. You need to maintain that beauty with silence and control. The moment they refused that role, they're punished, right? The world doesn't love beauty because the world doesn't love beauty. It the world loves what beauty does for it. We love the way that beauty organizes desire, the way that beauty can create a hierarchy, the way it makes someone feel like they've won something just by being close to it. And in a way I also have seen recognized other types of beauty in the way, where my voice doesn't modulate itself to sound a certain way, when it's a convenient, it's me, right? It doesn't, I can take up space, but it makes people uncomfortable because it breaks this thing. It stops playing the game and it says that I'm not being consumed. But in a way, I feel like I'm not. So, like, when I ask, if I'm beautiful or am I just performing, I'm not asking because I doubt myself. I think I'm just really curious in knowing, what part of me is real and what part is this reward. Like, what part would remain if I wasn't being watched by myself or the world? And I don't know. I think I can be beautiful and performing, and I think that you can also perform not for survival, but you can also perform for self definition in ways. So, just because you're performing, it doesn't always mean that it's a lie. It can be a lens in which you see the world, but only if you're holding it and not the other way around. So, you can do it like it's poetry, right? Like it's art, but not for assimilation, not for politics, in a way that is so yourself. And I feel like that is so hard to do in, you know, the current society and the current culture that we live in. But these are just some thoughts that I'd like to put out there. Yeah.